Hello, beautiful being. You have done the impossible. You've made a narcissist doubt all the rules in their playbook. There's somebody in your life who used to be in your life who came to you with a certain list of expectations. And these expectations were what they very confidently and arrogantly assumed that they would be able to accomplish or achieve with your energy. And they created this list based on their encounters with people in their past. People that they met and were able to siphon energy from. They were able to love bomb them. They were able to devalue them. They were able to do all of these things where they were in control. And it felt good to them in the moment because it allowed them to function by siphoning someone else's energy, but it never felt satisfying because after they brought a person to their knees or took a person's career, hijacked a person's lover, hijacked a person's money, they always wanted more. And so while they were never satisfied in conning other people, they did realize that they were able to achieve some level of success where at least they were able to trick a person or bully a person out of their hard-earned work, effort, rewards, what have you. So when they came to you, this narcissistic individual, they assumed that the tricks they played on other people would work on you. Now maybe for a little while, and I'm hearing a very little while, a very short amount of time, maybe they were able to interrupt your flow of energy, but that brief interruption served as a wake-up call for you. It awakened you to the need for a deeper level of protection that Divine knew that you could achieve. And your ancestors and spirit allies, in essence, used this narcissistic individual to bring to you the awareness of your maximum potential. It's almost as if this was an enemy that tried to raid your camp so that you could build a fortress of divine energy, of protection and intuition that would shield you successfully from any future attacks. Your spirits use this narcissistic individual to make you aware of the true divine protection that you were able to tap into, because there were layers of energy and aspects of yourself that you had access to that you didn't yet know about, and you didn't know that you needed that energy and to be aware of that energy and of that potential. You didn't know that you needed it until you encountered this narcissist. And so when you realized that this person was trying to threaten your world and your stability, you started searching within and around you for support, for strength, for a means of becoming stable within yourself. And that is exactly what you have manifested, is a deep awareness of who you actually are. And now that you've become aware and are becoming even more aware of the power of knowing who you are. You know, they say know thyself. There is truly power in knowing who you are. You realize that neither that narcissistic individual who was trying you and threatening you, nor anyone else on this earth, not any entity or energy beyond this realm, can threaten you. They can't shake you, because your energy is eternal. It is infinite. And it is aligned with the frequency of divine love, which is the most powerful energy there is. And unlike this narcissistic individual, the love that flows through you does not seek to control others. It seeks to become its best self in whatever way possible, whether it's through your creative energy or through loving relationships and connections that you form with other divine beings on this earth, or whether it manifests itself in the connection that you have formed and are continuing to form with your spirits. Now you know love on such a deeper level, the deepest level possible, because as a result of those threats that you experienced, that you faced from that narcissistic being, you began to search for love within yourself, and you have found it. And you find it every single day. Because see, that's the beauty of us as sensitive beings, intuitive beings, introverted beings who are so connected to the divine. When we come in contact with a narcissistic individual or community, we're forced to learn who we really are. Because there's nothing that motivates a human being, a divine being, to truly achieve peace and understanding and understanding like pain. And so narcissistic individuals who are sadistic and who love evil, they love to inflict pain. And so when we as empathic, sensitive beings feel that pain, we must find a way to survive. And then once we've survived, we realize that we're ready to thrive. And that is exactly what is happening for you. You have survived. And now, because of your self-love, because of your relationship with the divine, you are beginning to thrive. You have a rich life, a rewarding life, a life that is fruitful and that yields the most sweet, delicious, ripe fruit. That fruit is a result of your willingness to continue being loyal to yourself. That fruit is a result of you continuing to listen to your intuition as far as who is allowed to access your world and who is not allowed to access your world. Also, something that's really helping you at this time is that when you receive whispers, telepathic whispers, or it could be something that's sent to you in a communication, whether it's a text or something like that, of someone telling you that you should let people in, you realize that they don't know you. And that is someone who is truly karmic. Because to tell a beautiful being that you don't know personally that they should be more open and receive people, like, who does that? Anybody who has told you that you should forgive, or you should, even if it's somebody that you know, maybe it's a family member telling you that you should open up your energy to someone who was chronically toxic, repeatedly toxic, you realize that they don't really know you. They might say they know you, but they don't really know you, because they're trying to force you into a connection that is not healthy. You are an intuitive being who knows in your heart of hearts and in your gut, you know who's for you and who's not. And so anyone who comes to you and suggests that you should open up your heart space or any of your chakras, any aspect of your life, no matter how small or how large, anybody who suggests that you should open up your energy to someone who has constantly hurt and wanted to harm you, they just might be the psychopath. Who tells a person that? It could be someone who's looking out for their own best interests. Maybe they'd rather have a big happy family that's toxic as hell. They don't care about the level of joy and peace that the people in that quote-unquote happy family actually have. But you're different. You do care about your peace. You do care about your stability. You do care about the joy that you have access to every single day. And because you have put your joy, your peace, and your connection with the divine first on a consistent basis, things are getting so good for you. So good for you. I love you. I wish you peace. I wish you joy and so many blessings. Take care.